Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dan with Retirees Delivers, and in today's video, I would like to discuss ways to not get deactivated from Walmart Spark. If you are deactivated, you don't make money anymore, at least not on Walmart Spark. So let's go over some of these things and discuss them at length. I guess you can say I've been preparing for this video for about the past 3 years since I became active in the gig economy, first with Uber Eats, then with DoorDash, then with Grubhub, and eventually down the line with Walmart Spark. But recently I have spent a little more time researching articles in big-time magazines and whatnot, going to the Walmart Spark Reddit pages, Facebook groups, you name it. Actually speaking with Walmart Spark drivers and finding out their trials and tribulations. I've also listened to YouTube creators who are in the gig economy space, like I am at this moment, and talked to Walmart Spark drivers and other gig economy drivers in person. And the common thread that goes through some of these folks, actually a lot of them, is I got deactivated for no reason. When you ask a couple of follow-up questions to these folks, you find out, well, there it is right there. You got deactivated for that. That's a contract violation. In fact, you've now described to me 2 or 3 contract violations. Of course, you're going to get deactivated. What were you thinking? And basically what they're thinking was, well, I don't consider that what I did to be something that rises to the level of getting deactivated. Yeah, but you violated your contract, and it says right in there, if you do that, we reserve the right to deplatform you. So some of the things were just completely counterintuitive to common sense what they did, and then got deactivated for it. I mean, they deserved it. They literally deserved it. Terrible decision making on their part. So let's go through a few things that I think you can do. You can use these things right now today, put them into practice if you're not already. You're going to see that these things are simple. Just don't do these things. Here's a pretty simple one. Don't lie on your background questionnaire when you're in the onboarding process, particularly when it comes to your driving. Your driving is very important to these gig applications because you're out there driving and you're representing them. You don't want to put them in a spot, and they're going to evaluate your driving record. They just are. You're giving them permission to look at your driving record. There is a YouTube creator out there who's also pervasive in other forms of social media, and his channel is all about the gig economy, driving for apps like DoorDash, Spark, Amazon Flex, you name it, the whole gamut of them. And one day he posted a video and he was just flabbergasted and floored that he'd been deactivated from one of his main apps. In fact, his main app that his channel was about. I'm not going to get into what channel that was and his name. You could probably find him if you looked hard enough. He's probably in the top 5 creators in this space. But he kind of sort of forgot to let this gig app know during the onboarding process that he'd had a recent conviction for reckless driving. Well, that's going to get you bounced immediately if you disclose it. So obviously that's why he didn't disclose it. And about 2 years down the line, he's very successful with this food delivery app. He's established a YouTube channel based solely on the food delivery app, and boom, he's deactivated. And I know it was devastating for him, his business, and where he was. To his credit, he did come clean on telling why he got deactivated, which was the reason I gave you. I don't want to expound on his situation much further, but if you've got some devastating event in your background, like misdemeanor traffic violation, or you've got a DUI, or you've got something that landed you in prison, stealing, robbery, theft, these things, these apps care about, these companies care about, because they don't want you stealing from customers. Seems pretty obvious, but if you have these problems and you can't overcome them, I would say don't even apply to be in the gig economy. Somebody's going to find that out. Every background out there on any of these apps are going to run your traffic and run your criminal history. And they're also looking for people to tell the truth. So that's important. So he was most definitely not deactivated for no reason. Another pretty obvious one is account sharing. Let me read to you what the definition of account sharing is. Account sharing is simply using someone else's account or allowing your own account to be used by someone else. Don't share your account with anybody else, no matter what app it is, but particularly Walmart Spark. Don't be on the other end of borrowing somebody's account to go out and work. A gig worker that I know pretty well actually told me, I don't know why I keep getting deactivated, this and that. She would get deactivated from multiple apps, and I hope I don't offend her by mentioning this, but you can't share apps. You can't get it deactivated for a reason on the app that you're activated on and then convince one of your family members to apply for that same app and then go work as if you're that person, and you're going to get deactivated there too. Eventually, somebody's going to catch on to it. I have personally witnessed this at Walmart. I don't know. Walmart just seems to be the hub of all this disingenuous activity. Don't ask me why. I think probably because it's profitable. But I also saw that in my previous zone, when I kept seeing more and more of that going on, people showing up with somebody else's phone, somebody showing up without a phone whatsoever, but then they're calling the other person who's holding their phone that holds the account, getting all the information from them, giving that to the associate. More and more of that goes on, and it just dilutes the orders that are available to legit drivers that are not violating a policy every time they get up in the morning. Thankfully, at some point, Walmart Spark introduced the 4-digit driver code, where you have to show up and you don't get that driver code until you are geographically at the store as part of the arrival process. So you have to be able to produce that code. Another one that's pretty closely related to what I've just discussed, and one that I have seen in person, is that driver that shows up and has 3 phones with them, and they're all their accounts. So they are activating multiple accounts simultaneously. So they've got one legit account, 2 ghost accounts that they've somehow been able to get made operational, get activated. On the Reddit message boards and on Facebook groups, there are tons of these people out there that claim that they've got 2, 3, sometimes 4 active accounts going, and they've got all these phones. I don't know where they're getting all these phones from, and all these, they're probably scamming phone companies too. Who knows? Or maybe they've got burner phones. I don't know what it is. So on a lighter note, and I'll wrap this up with this, is another great way to stay active on the Walmart Spark platform is avoid providing poor customer service. Be a good customer service person. It's not that hard. A lot of the customers' contact with Spark drivers is going to be on the shopping side of the app, not necessarily just the delivery side, but there's plenty on the delivery side too. So don't forget that your customers have the opportunity to rate your service, your level of service that you're providing. A few cranky customers might be enough to get you deactivated if they're actually so cranky about it that they make phone calls and they talk to human beings and make a legit complaint with your name on it. That's not good. And this is me spitballing here, but I would think that if one driver exhibited a pattern of behavior that is perceived to be poor customer service, that you got a good chance at being deactivated for that. I'm sure there's going to be a contract violation in there somewhere that they can hang on you. My advice, I realize to most of you out there, this is going to sound like common sense, and to a certain extent it is. It certainly worked for me. Be polite, friendly, and helpful when you're communicating with your customer. Bend over backwards to figure out what their needs are and fulfill them. Get those items, particularly perishable grocery items, get them out to the customer promptly. Keep them fresh, keep them stable. For the love of God, don't stack all this stuff in front of the door to where they can't get out the door to get their own groceries, or they got to go out the back door and go around the house. Who knows what they've got to do? Open the garage. And I speak from experience, because I've got the same Amazon guy who keeps leaving my package right in front of my security door. I'll show a picture of it up here. Trust me, this guy's not getting good reviews from me. And I want to direct this one to you fellas out there that are doing shopping runs at Walmart. And trust me, there is no reason why a guy can't be a good shopper. There's plenty of them out there. And heck, there's plenty of good creators out there that are teaching guys how to be better shoppers. But I'm going to say you are going to, at some point, encounter some level of bias from women customers after they find out that it's a man shopping for their order, particularly when it comes to produce items and picking good ones, picking fresh ones, picking ripe ones. Hell, just even getting the right version of a vegetable that they're asking for. I mean, take tomatoes. What is there? 5 different versions of tomatoes. Same thing with potatoes. I almost caught myself one day shopping at Walmart. I had already checked out, and I picked up my bag of potatoes to put them in a bag, and I looked at the back of it. My God, there were, the eyes of the potatoes were growing. There were like 4-inch tendrils coming out of all the potatoes. So I had to stop everything, tell one of the associates, hey, listen, I got to run back and get some potatoes. Look at this thing. It's a relic. I got to get another one. And I did find another one. Thankfully, I saw it and I stopped myself from doing it, but there's a typical guy move shopping for groceries. We're wired up to complete the mission, to complete the task, right? Another thing within the shopping part of this, for the love of God, follow the delivery instructions. I am as guilty as anybody of just becoming robotic, pick up item, drive item to a house, drop at house, take picture, leave to next task. I've caught myself doing that without fully reading the delivery instructions, and sometimes I'll have already delivered it. I'm just about to close out of the order, and I look at it, oh my God, they wanted me to ring the bell and stand there for them. A really good thing to put into practice is to make sure you read through the delivery instructions. But the people that are ordering groceries are probably going to be pretty specific about the delivery instructions, whether they want you to ring the bell, don't ring the bell, knock on the door, make the dogs go nuts. Although one thing I found that is hilarious that you run into a lot is don't knock on the door, the baby is sleeping. I've had repeat customers over a period of 2 or 3 years, and that baby has never woke up once. So they better get that one checked. Anyway, always deliver on time too. Try to, and if you're running late, make it known to Walmart Spark, make it known to the customer, hey, I'm running a little bit late. Maybe you can include, hey, I've got all your perishables in insulated bags. They should be fine, but I'm just letting you know. Another important thing, deliver the thing to the right house. I've done it. I've delivered to the wrong house a couple of times and managed to figure it out before it became an issue, and I was able to go back, get those groceries, and take them, 3 doors down, or however I ruined it. And if you do that enough times, that is delivering $150 worth of groceries to the wrong address a few times, that's probably going to come back to bite you too from a account deactivation standpoint. And in that vein, I've had a lot of maybe not a lot, but I've had more customers requesting a signature at the door for the groceries, and I suspect that is because they've had orders pretty regularly dropped at the wrong house. It's also happened to me as a customer. I've been a victim many times. Orders not being taken to my house, but being dropped to the same numbers, the same house number 2 blocks away at a different street. So that's another good chance for you to display good customer service when you're asking for the signature. And I think we're gonna stop it there. That was enough advice from Dan at Retire Eats Delivers. It's been great having you along. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I am currently hovering around 500 subscribers. I'd like to get it to 1,000, but I do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, listening to what I have to say, and we'll see you on the next one.